Fat on keto is always a hot topic, and as much now as when I took up keto 10 years ago. Don't eat trans fats. Mediterranean diet with olive oil is good, industrial seed oils are bad, and for most people the jury was out on saturated fats. Thank goodness some things have changed over the years. I think this is one of the reasons why people who are just now starting keto do find themselves really conflicted by the information out there. You read one blog and it says eat this amount of fat, and then you listen to a podcast and they say no, eat that amount of fat and it has to be this type of fat, and then you watch a video and it says something else again. Remember what I said in that first video, keeping an open mind. Be prepared to hear different ways of implementing keto. Not all will be right for you. So all anybody can really tell you when it comes to eating macros on keto is more of a guideline which you'll want to adjust over time rather than a number set in stone. So more of a directional signal, not a destination. We're all different and we all do keto differently. I do think that for so many people who are coming from a low fat, high carb lifestyle, the idea of eating more fat is difficult because we've become so conditioned into believing that fat is bad, and especially saturated fat. Personally, I've been eating saturated fat for years and it's helped me to lose weight, keep that weight off, become lean and get rid of all that inflammation. I feel so much happier eating higher fat foods, though I do remember how scary it was when I was getting used to the keto way of eating. It takes time to adjust to. And you know, eating fat on keto can be as nuanced or as simple as you want it to be. The accelerator is to do with health choices, and by that what I mean is that once you find the type of fat that is most suited to you, you will find it easier to lose the weight and the inflammation. However, that is much further down the line, and to begin with, it's more important to focus on getting the outline of the lifestyle in place, getting used to that, and to eating higher amounts of fat. I think for somebody who just wants to know how to get onto the keto lifestyle, then there are certain facts which are the most important to know. So here goes my take on eating fat on a keto lifestyle. So if I say eat fat to satiety, I appreciate this is not what most people are going to want to hear. It is challenging when first starting, whilst there is no doubt but that eating fat to satiety is the way to go. That does little to help, and I want to help because I've been where you are right now. I understand that frustration. If I use my own experiences by way of example, so for the first few weeks, maybe a month, maybe 2 months or more, whilst my body was getting used to this way of eating, I was eating high fat, more fat than protein, and way more fat than carbs. I was eating fat until I felt satisfied, but not full. So what does that mean? It means a feeling that in about another 3 or 4 mouthfuls, I am going to be full. That is the time to stop. Then have a look to gauge how much you've eaten, make a note of how much you think you've eaten and see how long you can go until you feel hungry again. And that's the very beginning of intuitive eating, mindful eating. So when I was eating to become fat adapted, I included fat at every meal, from the fat on the cuts of meat I was eating to fat in cheese, cream, yogurt, olives, avocados, etc. Plus the fat I was cooking with. olive oil, coconut oil, butter and beef dripping. As my body became used to getting its energy from fat and I was starting to feel that I had more energy, I felt more balanced, less hungry. I just felt more settled within myself and I was enjoying the food I was eating and I was in less pain. I was making it so easy for my body to burn fat, the dietary fat that I was eating. I literally handed it to my body on a plate. It was just there, presented at every meal. Here, burn this. So how did I start to burn the stored fat and not keep relying on the fat I was eating? I was listening to what my body was telling me, and I'd healed enough to be able to pick up the signals that my body was telling me it was time to start doing things differently. I started to want to eat less fat. I didn't know it, but my body was getting ready to let go of a lot of stored fat I was carrying around, and it was happening without me having to preempt anything or maneuver myself into a particular way of eating. I went from being an external regulator of food to a self-regulating fat-burning machine. After a while, I started to noticeably lose the excess fat I was carrying around. And well, it was because I was making and burning off ketones. So remember, healing is good, weight loss is good. They don't necessarily happen at the same time. Remember, eating fat does not make you fat. For some people, eating the wrong type of fat for their individual health pathways can create a fat storage situation, and that's about managing the type of fat, not necessarily the amount of fat. So that's it for today. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you here again in the Keto Gaia kitchen. Take care and bye for now.